I don't know why that didn't unmute me.
Okay.
This week in gaming, Valve reveals a new console slash PC thing. Horizon becomes an MMO, and Bungie is a disappointment, and so much more. This is the Nerd Cave News, and I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined by my good friend and co-host, Derek Daniel.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. Another Thursday, more news, all the good stuff. This week has actually been
Eventful.
You know what I mean?
Like mainly in the past 2 days, but
yeah, like last week it was just like, okay, we're just gonna pick on Rockstar, and then this week is just kind of been all over the place, which is good. We've gotten trailers. Y'all should go check out the Fallout Season 2 trailer. Y'all should go check out the Mario Galaxy movie trailer. A lot of cool stuff coming out. We had to kind of pick and choose what we're going to cover tonight. So without further ado, Derek, I want to jump into my favorite segment, and that's what you playing. And Derek, what have you been playing? And everybody that's watching, drop the games that you've been playing in the chat.
So I got to play more of Ghost of Yotei. I'm in Oshima Coast. I left off there. I went to the gunsmith, got the last of the quick fire weapons. Been upgrading those. I haven't fully upgraded the minigun, the American breathing one. But been doing that. Got all that quick fire weapons, got all the long range weapons now. And what was it? I've been doing I cleared out all the enemy bases across Yotei.
Wow.
So cleared all that out. That finished that up. Pretty much did all of the areas that I could find. I know I'm missing some Sume-e paintings. Somewhere around in the world. I'm sure it's not just in Oshima Coast, but there was. I will say, I'm not going to spoil it, but once you go down, because Oshima Coast is of course, the coast is right up the is in the middle, and then it kind of goes split off in two sides. I did the right side first. I'm kind of glad because I did the left side, and the side quest that you go on, really cool. I can't say anything more because it'll give it away, but really cool side mission that you go on. Zach, this will tickle your fancy. I say so. I can't wait for you to get there. I know you just did the Oni on this past Tuesday, or at least did the Oni's area. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that. You get into that, but really cool mission I went on. It was just so worth it. Yeah, that's all. That's all I can say. I can't wait till you get there.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. I jumped into the Oni's area, and I love how it has felt okay, the beginning area has felt a little bit more safer, it's more bounties, that sort of deal. And then
when you get to the Oni,
yeah, it feels totally different. And then you got fire bombs, and you got all of these things. It's definitely and then compared to Teshio Ridge, where it felt more they're gonna jump out at you at any time, this is more oh, we're gonna overwhelm you with a bunch of people and everything. So
and fire swords,
my gosh. And getting the Yuri was cool. Taking down Mad Goro, which was a really, really awesome side quest bounty thing that we got to do. And did you in the camp when you first got there, the Matsume, whatever they're called, yeah, there you go. Did you do the bamboo strike?
Yes.
Did you take the dude's hat?
Oh, did I? I think I did.
Okay. So if you put the hat on after you get it and you walk over there, he's like, you don't have the jawline for this hat. And I was just like, so just that little thing right there, it just felt like that there was more to it. You just weren't getting another helmet, or whether there was just at least a little interaction and everything. So I played a little bit offline. I did more of the side missions, the smaller things, did more of the shrines and just different stuff. So kind of got Atsu more leveled up, and I'm just really loving this game. And the diversity that is in the gameplay styles, like having
Mhm.
to like, oh well, these people like we already had like the stances and everything. We already kind of were experimenting with that. But as I'm playing more and more into it, I'm just really, really loving it. And
Yeah.
dude, the I got I got a new set of armor, which is the dragonfly armor. Have you been able to get that?
Yes, I think I did.
Okay, dude, dragonfly armor is freaking boss
Yeah. I
for like
forget what are the perks are.
so it's an archery based set
Oh,
and
that's right.
everything. And dude, I literally have a like a just a loadout where I just switch over and I like literally pull the bow and then it'll have like the glint and then I could just hit and it's just like pop 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 like it makes the drawing much faster
Mhm.
and it's just I've got to get my my arrow capacity up because I go through arrows like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But dude, it's so nice. And I don't care for the helmet because there's literally like a huge, like it's like a two
Right,
foot
right.
tall dragonfly, but it is a dope perk set. And then if you have like more of the charms that are like archery based, which you get one with Ren's apprentice from Teshia Ridge,
Correct.
with the Yumi, and
Mhm.
dude, like the big you know when you have like Saito's men going around on horseback and
Yep.
they're a little bit more difficult and everything. Now I literally just get the big bow, the Yumi, and just lock on and bah. And I've got
Woo!
where it's literally it's taking two of them out at a time, just like regular heavy
Wow.
arrows. Bah, bah. It's so cool, dude. I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
So, you know, I did you obviously right from this get-go, you come across, we're not gonna spoil it, but once you get to that area, the question I raised in our initial like 2 hour like launch thing, I was like, is it going to be this or this? That because you went. So I love how we both went separate ways. You went
Mhm.
to like Tadachi Range and then up to Teshio Ridge. I just went straight to the Oni's area, and
Yeah.
my question immediately got answered. I'm like, well, this is cool, and we'll talk about it more off air, unless you want to like put up a big spoil like.
I don't know. Hey, if y'all don't want to get anything spoiled for Ghost of Yote, we're gonna take 20 seconds to talk about
Yeah.
this. And 3, 2, 1, spoilers now.
Obviously meeting the brother, I'm like, okay, this obviously it's funny because I literally played after that and I got my question answered, and then like having that conversation, he felt like the Lord Shimura of that.
Yep.
Like the more conversations you have, he feels like the Lord Shimura. I'm like, I don't like where this is going because I know how that story ended.
Yeah. Bane calls him Unc. He's
Yeah.
like he's like Unc over here with his honor and everything, which like it was cool to see like in which that voice actor was Bodhi in Star Wars
I caught
Survivor.
that too. I'm just like, where have I heard this? And I looked it up. And I was like,
Yeah.
ah.
And like even like you once you notice it, like the mocap and everything looks
Mhm.
exactly the same actor and everything. But it was cool to see, and I'm wanting to see more of where that goes.
Yeah.
But the tension that is between them, it's not like, oh yeah, like it's like this heartwarming moment in a
Yeah,
way
it
that
was
it's
for like a second, and then all of a sudden, but that's why I'm saying, like, the moment it got tense, I'm like, oh, here we go. This is rinse and repeat from the first game.
yeah. Well, and then like when you get Mad Goro and he's like, I've got to take him in, it's like that's not what we agreed on,
No,
you
no, no, no,
know.
no, no.
So,
uh,
dude, I'm liking the only side of things. The Yuri as a weapon is pretty cool,
yeah,
but it's just a spear. Let's just be
yeah.
honest.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, it's only effective against like the Kusarigama enemies.
yeah, and like the sickle dudes, I can't remember what
No,
they're
that's the
called.
Kusarigama. Oh, you talk about just the sickle, not the sickle and chain.
Yeah, not the sickle and
Gotcha.
chain, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dual sickle. Like,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm liking it, and finally getting the fire bombs and everything, and just the way like the people are acting in that range and of
Hmm.
like up there. they like, and the way the Oni is just like, we're just gonna burn everybody. I'm like,
Right.
this dude is freaking crazy.
He is.
This dude is crazy.
Because well, I'm not going to get it because I don't remember when he tells like the Oni tells his backstory, but it's par for the course once you understand.
Yeah, I haven't got to that part, but when Mad Goro was like, "Oh, he loves like the hero types that have been unscarred, like he likes maiming them and all of that."
Yep.
I'm like, okay, which even like from the images that I've seen, he's kind of he's been through some things and
Yeah.
everything, but I'm excited to get more into that on Tuesday night. We'll be playing more. Hopefully, we'll get closer to taking the Oni down,
Yep.
which is the goal. So I would be up to 3 at that point
Yep.
of the EOT6 and everything. But that is what we've been playing. Let us know what you've been playing down in the comments below, and we're going to get into the gaming news for tonight. So the gaming discussion. First up, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra release date has been delayed beyond early 2026, and this is by Charles Hart at Game Informer.
So the news came via a post on developer Skydance's social media, which announces that the delay will push the game, quote, beyond early 2026. At Skydance Games, our goal is to deliver unforgettable premium games that honor the characters and worlds we're fortunate to work with. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra is an ambitious project, and we are committed to ensuring it meets the level of quality that our team, players, and fans expect. To fully realize our vision for Marvel 1943, we've made the decision to shift our release window beyond early 2026. We're grateful for the passion and support from the community and players around the world. The team is working hard to create something truly special, and we look forward to sharing more with you as development progresses. And this comes off like it literally got announced in the same day, or around within the 24-hour span of GTA 6 getting delayed, right? It
Mhm.
almost feels like it's sort of like that flash fire, and it's like, all right, like sleight of hand trick is like, all right, you see this, but we're gonna sneak in through the back and hope you guys don't notice that either. It's like, we did, guys. Like, you're not slick. But also, it makes sense because ever since because I forget, like, I know it was supposed to originally come out around this time now, like this year, and then it got slightly delayed till early next year, and then we haven't seen much of it since, like, or any of it since then. And it's like, is it going to hit the early 2020s? Is it going to come out between January and March? Like, I don't know at this point. And it got delayed past. I'm like, well, that answers the question, because you feel like if it was getting ready to do like early next year, they would kind of start ramping up like hype and like production and whatever, marketing schemes and all that jazz. But it's fine, like GTA 6, take the time that you need, like avoid crunch as much as possible. Like, I know crunch is always going to be a thing. I don't want to say it's necessary, but it's always going to be a thing. But
Yeah.
the less you can, like, you got, I hope we're way past the days where people are having cots at their workplace and never getting to see their families. But also, this raises a question, Zach. This, because this Amy Hennig is on this, correct?
Yes, she is.
So she was on a Star Wars project, and that
Mhm.
got canned.
Yep.
This is now she's on this project, and it's gotten a delay. Maybe it'll get more delays. Who knows?
Second
Uh,
delay, actually, because it was
so-
supposed to come out last Christmas. It
oh
was supposed.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So 2 delays, and let's just say, for hypothetical sake, this game comes out and it's mediocre, right?
Yep.
Do you think this tarnishes Amy Hennig's legacy? Because it's sort of like those old head film directors, that come out like, like, I forget, was it Tarantino? I feel like Quentin Tarantino was one of them, but there was one of them that just keeps bashing like superhero movies. Like every couple of months, he rears
Oh,
his old
that's
head.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, Scorsese, and that's like, you all haven't directed anything in a while, or like you don't have like not as many releases as you used to do, and it's like, I feel like you're just saying this to be relevant. So if this comes out to a mediocre to dull roar, do you think this tarnishes Amy Hennig's legacy if she doesn't stand on that pedestal that we used to have her at during the Uncharted days?
I feel like it does. It's kind of like Cliffy B when he left the Gears franchise and then tried to do his own thing. It wasn't the same, and you don't really hear people praise Cliffy B. He's more kind of a joke at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that is kind of the way of things. It's like, when Brett Favre just kept throwing interceptions and everything.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you eventually get to the point where you're not, hitting the stride that you used to. But I think Amy Henning's like great with the writing side of things, and I
Mhm.
hopefully that will shine through on this. And taking the extra time, and Joe brings up the thought here is delayed the new canceled, easier for shareholders to handle something delayed than wasted money being canceled. And we've seen several games get canceled, but we've definitely see a more trend towards things getting delayed more and more in the industry, because I feel like publishers that are beholden, not the developers, but the publishers that are beholden to the
Mhm.
shareholders, are trying to push the developers to say, hey, we can get it out here. We can get it out of this
Right.
date and all of that. And it's not necessarily realistic. And I do feel like it's better to delay something
Yeah.
if if there is actually a game that is there. Because if we look at games that have come out over time, there are some games that never should have been released. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League should have never been released. You know,
Concord.
Concord should have never been released. There's several games that have had these big budgets and has been, delayed and all of that, that should have been canceled, compared to games that shouldn't have been canceled that got canceled instead of delayed.
Perfect
So
Dark.
Perfect Dark is one of them, and then like I don't know if the Last of Us game would have done any good,
Yeah.
like the multiplayer or whatever, but there's just so much time and dedication that's gone into these things that it's hard to just pull the plug. But with this getting delayed into another year, so this is the second big delay, not just a few months,
Mhm.
but like literally like pushing it into, we're looking at May at least,
Yeah,
if not.
yeah, summertime between May and July, like at the very earliest.
Yeah, and the only thing that we've seen from this game is a cinematic of the game, and then
Yeah.
we've seen like the tech, like the lighting and like
Mhm.
that side of stuff, and that's it. We haven't seen anything else from this game, which kind of has me worried.
Yeah.
What are we actually going to be getting from Rise of Hydra?
Right. So, and to go back on the point of like, is delay the new canceled, is like there's another layer to that too, which we've seen, like especially from big AAA companies. It's like, no matter if you keep kicking it down the road, like we see investors like, is like pull the plug. Is like, look, we've already spent way too much money. I think I don't want to say Media Molecule was like the final nail in the coffin, but they were definitely one of the major case studies where it's like, oh, you took 10 years and you came out to a dull roar. Like, yeah, the media creation tools were cool in your last game, but that was it. Like that was all you had to bring. Um, so it's like if you take too long, you can get canceled. Even if you come out and it's like you're a Concord where you fail epically, you're canceled. Even if you're successful, your studio might still get shut down because of corporate greed. So there, it's safe to, like we've talked about it, almost ad nauseum at this point. But in the video games industry, there is no guarantee, there is no certainty. Like even if you're successful, there is no guarantee that you're going to wake up tomorrow and have job security. That's just the fact of it. And that's a sad world we live in. So I mean, it doesn't matter if you delay the game or rush it out at this point, because you'd never know. It's a toss up at this point.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Guys, let us know your thoughts down in the chat as we move to our second story of the evening. Sony says Bungie hasn't brought in as much money as it thought it would as Destiny 2 falls off a cliff. And this is by Wesley Yinpool at IGN.
It's a tough time for Bungie and Destiny 2, with parent company Sony saying the studio has failed to meet its sales and user engagement expectations. In its latest financial report, Sony said it has recorded a 31.5 billion with a B yen, which is approximately $204 million in American money, impairment charge as a result of Destiny 2's underperformance. That was significant enough to drag down profits at Sony's game and network services segment, which includes Sony Interactive Entertainment. Sony CFO Lin Tao expanded on the issue with Bungie in an investor-related financial call. Quote, regarding Destiny 2, partially due to the changes in the competitive environment, the level of sales and user engagement have not reached the expectations we had at the time of the acquisition of Bungie. While we will continue to make improvements, we downwardly revised the business projection for the time being and recorded an impairment loss against a portion of the assets at Bungie. It's certainly been a tough time for Destiny 2 and Bungie, which is working on the delayed extraction shooter Marathon for release in next year. Destiny 2 has seen a player count plummet as updates have failed to hit the mark. The action shooter hit a new low on Steam this month with a peak concurrent player count of over 13,000 people in the past 24 hours. In June last year, it hit 314,000. For comparison, recent user reviews for Destiny 2 on Steam are, quote, mostly negative, although overall reviews are, quote, mostly positive. Steam does not paint the entire picture when it comes to Destiny 2's popularity, with it widely available across multiple platforms, but clearly Sony isn't happy with how the studio has performed in the 3 years since it brought it into the fold. Now, obviously, we've talked about it before, how Bungie was brought in to be the live service initiative and, to be the pretty much the godfather to all these other first party studios when Jim Ryan was forcing live service down everyone's throats. Like, you got to make it, you got to make it, you got to make it. And Bungie's going to be the one to help you along, and they can't even help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach, I think this goes back to, like, yes, there hasn't been any significant updates for Destiny 2 in a while, that at least that I can remember, have seen like on social media and whatnot. But I think the biggest detriment was them making the decision at this point to say, we're not doing Destiny 3. We're just going to continue with Destiny 2 for the foreseeable future. And I think now that they were hoping Marathon would be that one to pass the torch to, and they basically going to sunset Destiny and maybe down the road, maybe do like either a revival of Destiny or do Destiny 3. Who knows? But I think they were hoping to make Destiny 2 last until Marathon took over. Now, Marathon is having its own set of issues and legal problems. So now it's like you're in a predicament if you're Bungie. So whether doing Destiny 3 instead of this Marathon game would have maybe saved Bungie or like put them in a better light, we will never know. But I think the downfall started when they openly came out and made the decision to say, we're not doing a Destiny 3, even though they talked about it being a possibility and like all that kind of stuff. We can get into like the semantics of before they got bought, like when they were under Activision, of like, oh, Destiny's like a 10-year plan, blah, 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 blah. And that panned out really quick, or that didn't pan out as, really fast. So I don't know, Zach, do you think Bungie is long for this world anymore at this point? If they're already making projections in their sales, like I think if Marathon comes out and doesn't even have to be another Concord, like is even like, a dud, like it does like it comes out and maybe
dies within 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, dies within like 2 months. Like, yeah, I think Bungie is going to be on the chopping block.
Yeah, I think with how things are going, I know PlayStation, Sony has taken over a lot more of what Bungie's operations are. There's a lot more oversight, and I think that will continue to grow more and more. And I feel like they will fold Bungie into PlayStation overall, and they'll make
them Raven Software, make them Support Studio.
Yeah, they'll keep the name just because Bungie does have pedigree, if you will, but all those people that brought that pedigree are gone. Let's just be honest. And with Destiny, it's like when you create something and you want people to be invested in it, you have to be invested in it. They slowly drip things out. There's not enough for people to do at this point. There's not any, like, there has been, I think it was the final shape came out late last year, or something like that.
Early last year. I don't know. I thought it was
a while.
Yeah, I thought it was more than a year ago, but sure. Like, we'll go with that. But yeah, it's been a while since we've heard anything from Bungie about Destiny.
Yeah, and it's like if you're expecting the player count to stay there and people to invest, people to spend money, you have to show that there's a roadmap, that there is going to be continued support to it, not just your seasonal things. I know Overwatch was really bad about just kind of slowly like putting anything out there, and then they would like rely on the seasonal stuff to get people to be interested in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, is Bungie long for this world? I don't know, dude. It feels like it is very volatile, and Sony is more and more on the side of we're going to protect ourselves. Literally, like the impairment is they're they're taking assets from Bungie to make up for the $240 million that
Yeah,
they're going to be losing. That like they're projecting that, and that's huge.
yeah,
That's huge.
yeah. So, and that's a lot of money. Like that's something you just don't keep in your back pocket. So, if you're already going to cost that much after they spent billions of dollars, like with a B, billions of dollars to acquire you, to have these grandeur plans, and you're not following through, like, yeah, and again, like you said, like there has to be some type of roadmap. I feel like once they announced Marathon, it's sort of like they just Destiny 2 is like an afterthought, and now
Mhm.
like Marathon is like the new shiny object that they're just kind of like fawning over and making sure that that gets out. But now it's in legal battle, and it's sort of like you dance with the one that brought you here, even though it's even though it's kind of like got a broken ankle, it's still the one that's dancing with you. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just sad to see Bungie go the way that they have. Like I know like none of the people that made it, glorious and like in the upper echelon are there anymore, but still like to see the name Bungie like have this much turmoil going on is just sad. And it's further goes to the point nothing lasts forever, but also like I also feel like this will also be a case study of not only for Sony but for the industry. It's like let's not write a blank check to spend like an egregious amount of money unless we're sure that this is going to pan out.
Yeah, I agree. The acquisition model is proving to be very
Because look,
costly.
because look how much it's putting Microsoft in turmoil. Like I know, like it's putting them in so much turmoil that the head of Microsoft is coming into the gaming division is like, well, you need to hit 30% margins and all this kind of stuff, and you need to do X, Y, and
Yep.
Z and all that. And it's like, well, and it's all because we spent all this money to buy Activision Blizzard, and y'all are not giving us the ROI that we deserve. And it's like, you have a point. You're still a jerk about it, but you have a point.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much of this falls on the push from when they got bought to now, the push being live service games for all the other studios and everything. How much of the focus was on that and Marathon, where they weren't putting anything, they weren't giving any air to Bungie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. It's sort of like or maybe Bungie put undue pressure on themselves. It's like, oh, we were required to to spearhead this charge into live service, and we got to be the poster child for it. And it's like we got to live up to that expectation. And then Sony comes in. And it's like, well, we want you to do X, Y, Z as well. And it's like, bro, like we want you to help all these studios. Like, bro, we can barely manage our own game. Like, leave us alone.
Yeah, I feel like they they oversold themselves, and they're definitely under delivering.
For sure. And we know as of last year, Zach, your pedestal about overselling and underperforming.
Exactly. But you know what doesn't underperform but over delivers? That's the
Yeah,
Nerd Cave. That's the
yeah.
Nerd Cave. So make sure to hit the subscribe button on the Nerd Cave Network right now. Hit the like button as well, so you don't miss out on any of the awesome content that we put out here, from live streams, playing games, hanging out together, to the Nerd Cave news, to Eat, Sleep, Anime, and so much more. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and be a part of the ship, part of the crew. Now, if you would have said to me, Derek, that
Mhm.
Valve was going to make any kind of announcement this week, it was not on my bingo card. But Valve has announced a console like Steam machine, Steam Frame VR headset, and a new Steam controller. And we have a trailer that will kind of give us an overview. This is a little bit of a longer video. So just
Strap in.
get you a nice cup of tea and just sit back and relax. Here we go.
Steam Deck is our powerful, portable, handheld gaming PC that lets you take your Steam library with you anywhere. We're pretty proud of it. People who own Steam Decks have been playing everywhere. and we couldn't be happier with the response we've heard from all of you. We're excited to talk about the future of Steam Deck, but not today, because this isn't a video about the future of Steam Deck. This is a video about the future of Steam hardware. Today, we're announcing 3 new members of the Steam hardware lineup. All connect you with powerful PC gaming. All are optimized for gaming with Steam, and all are shipping in early 2026.
The movement of
Let's
all
start
of
with
them.
this one.
I'm actually kind of excited about this Steam controller.
This is the new Steam controller. The new Steam controller puts all of your Steam games at your fingertips, so you can play wherever and however you want. Just like with Steam Deck, we want you to be able to play any game with your Steam controller, even games never built with a controller in mind. It has all the great features from Steam Deck, like trackpads, gyro, and back buttons, all in a comfortable form factor. Its next-generation magnetic thumbsticks let you play with improved responsiveness and longevity. We've put capacitive touch sensors on the thumbsticks and now on the back of the controller too, so you can enable precision gyro aiming with the touch of your thumb, or your pinky if you're feeling fancy. Play for way too long with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that allows for over 35 hours of playtime. With Steam Controller, we want to make charging and wireless pairing something that's actually easy.
Yeah, I know.
That's why we created the Puck. The Puck is a combination wireless adapter and magnetic charger included with every Steam controller. Snap it on to charge. Once you're charged up, snap it off again.
Well, that's gonna be another
you can play
Nintendo
over
lawsuit. Nope, you
Bluetooth
can't
or
do
a
the
wired
clicking
connection too. The new Steam controller works with any device running Steam or Steam Link, whether it's a PC, Mac, handheld, smartphone, Steam Deck, or the new Steam Machine. Oh, this is the new Steam Machine.
Oh, by the way.
It's a good looking box, man.
Steam Machine is a powerful gaming PC in a small but mighty package, designed for your games on the big screen. It's quiet too, which is crazy since it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, powered by a discrete, semi-custom AMD GPU, enabling 4K gaming at 60 frames per second with FSR. Steam Machine runs SteamOS made for a bigger screen, built for gaming in your living room, your office, or wherever you play, with the rest of your PC accessories. Steam Machine borrows some great features from Steam Deck, like lightning-fast sleep and wake, an SD card slot to easily expand your storage, and brings some new tricks of its own, like a customizable LED strip, which can show different system functionalities, or your own light show. Steam Machine is a PC, so run whatever software you want, and it works with all your favorite desktop and gaming accessories. Steam Machine is designed to work hand-in-hand with the Steam controller, with the low-latency, wireless connectivity of the Steam controller Puck built right in. And it's great for streaming your games to your phone, tablet, laptop, Steam Deck, or Steam Frame.
Oh, so this is an Xbox.
This is Steam Frame.
This looks good too, dude. Meta's over here quaking in their boots.
Steam Frame is Valve's next-generation VR hardware. Stream all your Steam games, VR and non-VR alike, in this comfortable, lightweight, wireless VR headset. Steam Frame uses camera-based tracking, so getting into your games is as easy as slipping on the headset and waking it up. Steam Frame controllers, included with the headset, are designed with all the inputs you need for your VR titles, like motion controls and capacitive tracking for all your fingers, as well as a split gamepad layout to work with your whole Steam library. They even feature the same magnetic thumbsticks as Steam controllers for responsiveness and longevity. Steam Frame also pairs seamlessly with the new Steam controller, a great companion for playing non-VR games in the headset. To make sure streaming is smooth and stable no matter what, Steam Frame includes a wireless adapter that lets you stream your games from your PC to your headset over a fast and dedicated Wi-Fi 6 connection.
Dude, that is
and the game is streamed to your frame optimized for VR, using new technology that allows for the highest resolution streaming exactly where your eyes are looking. And Steam Frame is a PC, running SteamOS. In addition to streaming, you can install and play a bunch of VR and non-VR games right in the headset without a host PC. You can also expand your onboard storage to fit even more games with a micro SD card. Steam controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame. All built with the same DNA as Steam Deck. All powered by Steam, work together, and can be used however you'd like with whatever peripherals and accessories you choose. Everything you see here is the culmination of what we've learned from our previous hardware experience, and what we've wanted ourselves as gamers. Powerful PC gaming in an open ecosystem, giving you more ways to enjoy the games you love and discover new ones. Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame are all shipping in early 2026. Learn more at steampowered.com/hardware.
So, Derek.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump into this? Give a little bit more in depth on some of this?
Yeah. So Valve has revealed the Steam Machine, a cubicle device that's 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck and lets you play your entire Steam library with ease on a TV in your living room. There's no price or release date yet, but Valve says it will be released in early next year. It features Steam OS, an OS optimized for gaming with fast suspend/resume and cloud saves, and it's all packed into a small form factor roughly the size of a 6-inch cube. The company says it keeps itself cool, it's whisper quiet, and can handle any peripherals you attach to it thanks to a 1 gigabyte Ethernet port, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, 1 USB-C port, and 4 USB-A ports. As for what's happening inside the machine, Valve says you can expect 4K gaming at 60 FPS with FSR, which is very, was it refresh rate? I guess it is. Thanks to a semi-custom AMD desktop class CPU and GPU, and will come in either a 512 gig or 2 terabyte storage capacity. However, both can be expanded via micro SD. In terms of connectivity, the Steam Machine has 2x2 Wi-Fi 6E plus Bluetooth 5.3 with a dedicated antenna. The Steam controller's wireless adapter is built right into the Cube 2, which Valve says makes for easy pairing. And finally, the Steam Machine's power supply is built in, so there's no large power brick. An LED strip along the bottom of the cube lets you keep an eye on Steam status, such as download progress, even when the screen is off. You can change the colors and animations too. Valve says it is expanding its verified program for Steam Deck to include ratings for Steam Machine so customers can understand how their games will run. Also, despite functioning like a plug-and-play console, it's still a PC, so you can install your own apps or a completely different operating system if you want. The new Steam controller has been built for Steam and is configurable with Steam input, allowing you to use it on a PC, a laptop, the Steam Deck, the Steam Machine, and even the Steam Frame. It comes with a Steam controller puck, which is both a wireless transmitter that provides a fast, stable connection to your Steam controller and is also a charging station that connects to the controller magnetically. You can still use Bluetooth or USB if you prefer, though. Valve says the Steam controller features magnetic thumbsticks with TMR technology, quote, designed for improved feel, responsiveness, and long-term reliability. Plus, they support capacitive touch for motion controls, and the entire controller features high-definition rumble and grip-enabled gyro. The final new piece of Steam hardware Valve revealed today is the Steam Frame, a VR and non-VR gaming device. Valve calls it a streaming-first wireless VR headset that includes unique controllers, and the entire package can handle your whole Steam library. Step into immersive VR or lean back and enjoy your non-VR catalog. Valve writes on the announcement page, and it supports standalone too. The Steam Frame headset is lightweight and compact, with the weight balanced front to rear for a comfortable experience. It's also easy to just slip on and play with no wires and no setup. With the included plug-and-play 6 GHz wireless adapter, you can play both VR and non-VR games via streaming, and the device includes something Valve calls foveated streaming, which optimizes details based on where your eyes are looking. Like the Steam Deck and Steam Machine, Valve is expanding its verified program to include Steam Frame as well. All of this is due out sometime in early next year, though Valve didn't reveal any specific release date or price. Zach, I'm going to turn it over to you. What is your big takeaway out of all three of those? I know you said you like the controller, but out of all three of these, what is your big takeaway, and what do you think this means for the future of Steam itself?
This is perfect timing for Steam. I think the controller is cool, and I love what they're doing there. I don't think that's the big reveal here. The two competitors that I'm seeing are the Steam Machine, because
Mhm.
we're seeing, and not that one, but um Joe brought up this will kill the Xbox. I agree.
Facts.
This
Facts.
is the thing that Xbox is trying to do, and Steam is getting out ahead of it, and they've already proven with Steam Deck that they can build something, because we've had a Steam machine before
Mhm.
and it didn't really take off, and a Steam controller didn't really take off. But the Steam Deck has proven that Valve can make something that is really, really good, and Steam OS is excellent. Like, it
Mhm.
just works. And this is taking that combination of console and PC and making it both of them at the same time, where you can use this as like a PC. You can put different programs on it if you want, or this is just a dedicated console that plays Steam games, which I think
Mhm.
is going to be very appealing, because a lot of people would just rather deal with Steam over any other platform at this point,
Correct.
because it just works, one, and there's always some sort of kind of sell. So I think that is huge, because we're seeing Xbox trying to get into the space, and Steam literally just planted their flag and it's like, this is our
Nah.
home turf. You know what I mean? It's
This
like
is our
this.
Xbox.
Yeah, this is our Xbox. So I'm excited for that. And then you have the headset,
Mhm.
which I am excited about, because it's not only taking a lot of like technology we saw with the Apple Vision Pro or what the MetaQuest has
Mhm.
been doing, but it's taking both of those things and accelerating where it should be, because they did just announce a few weeks ago the MetaQuest 4 is coming out. But with this, it's like, okay, it's doing exactly what the Apple Vision Pro is supposed to be doing,
Mhm.
but it's balanced, it's not heavy, it's not going to be like overly, like, anything that Apple's making that like goes on your head at this point is ridiculously heavy. From their
Right.
headphones to the Apple Vision Pro, it feels like you've got a cinder block on your face. With this, I saw Linus Tech Tips talking about, like, he was talking about this. He's like, this is an amazing VR headset. He's like, this is the best one that I've ever used. And I like to point out the subtle dig that it is a standalone, that you don't have to have other things like the PlayStation virtual reality 2.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have a PS5 to be able to use the system. It's
Mhm.
all in your own, and you can play games like I'm
Whether
very.
they're VR made or not, you can play all the games, which that was the biggest standout to me with with the headset. It's like, oh yeah, if you don't feel like booting up everything else, or you don't feel like owning all the hardware that we have in our at our disposal, you can still play all our games no matter which device you play on. You play on. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, I love that. And the photo streaming, where it's like prioritizing where your eyes are looking, that is so cool. And having its own controllers, which we knew it would have some sort of controllers, all of them do, but then being able to also work with the Steam Deck controller, dude, like, this is a perfect rollout of like, hey, this is what's coming. And even going to the point where it's like, hey, Steam Deck's doing awesome. You know, we've got all of this cool stuff, and we will eventually talk about a Steam Deck too, but
Today's
it's
not
like,
that day.
it's not that day. And it's like, okay, we're seeing the trajectory of, okay, this is your home console, you have your gaming handset, and then you've got VR. It's like they're hitting all of the things, and they've tried this before,
Yeah.
not with the Steam Deck side of things, but they had their own headset several years ago. They had Steam machines back in the day, and it didn't really
Mhm.
take off. But I think people now are primed and ready for that kind of experience.
Mhm.
And to Michael's point, I'm interested to see price points. Will it be affordable or luxury pricing?
And that's going to be the only thing that I feel like holds it back to an extent, is if it's like it's super. Now with the Steam, I'm just going to put it out there. The Steam machine, I think, will be the most expensive out of all of the hardware lineup they showed, and because of the two variants, like the two SKUs. They have a 512 gig and a 2 terabyte. I feel
Yeah.
like the 12 terabyte, the 2 terabyte will be closer to maybe like $800 to $1,000 in my opinion, just because of all the like the power behind it. And the 512 gig will probably be around 500 to 700. That's just my honest opinion. The controller I feel like will be like $80 to $130, somewhere in that point. The Steam frame might be on the cheaper side, like it might be more like $300 or $400. Maybe we'll see. Like I feel like they want to make it competitive. I would feel like they want to make that one the most competitive out of everything, like price point wise, just because as great as it will be, and as like I know VR gaming is still growing. It's a slow grow, but it's still not a major factor point. So I feel like like just because it's not like a huge market for it yet, they're going to make that somewhat of a competitive price point. But I could see the 2 terabyte being close to like $1,000, honestly. And then people will just make up the point. It's like, well, you could just build a PC. I'm like, well, you can, but they're giving you options, and it's like going to Best Buy and buying a pre-built rig already. It's like you have options, like either DIY or just buy a pre-built one. Like, pick your poison.
Yeah, and I think I think the controller will be around $70-$80, something like that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how controllers are priced at this point. With the Steam machine, I think it's going to be probably around there's two kind of thoughts here.
Mm-hmm.
One, we got to think about like how everything is way more expensive right now.
Correct.
So it's like you got to take that into consideration. And with like PlayStation and Xbox, it's like starting at $800 for those. It's like, okay, we can assume that it's going to be at least that. And a good PC, because if you think Steam Deck, it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. And if you get a Steam Deck like OLED 1 terabyte, that's like $500 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So $300 easy for this kind of thing, but I think it's going to be $1,000 to $1,200, just because that's how, like, for a high performing PC that's like up to date and everything.
Yeah,
it's about $1,200 at this point.
Right.
For the headset, I think they're going. The thing of this, I do want to point this out. Steam Deck is the cheapest handset, like gaming handheld, that's out there that is not a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. ROG is way more expensive. Like Steam Deck, it starts at like $300 something, $350 or whatever.
Okay.
So that's just like the base model. I think Steam is going to be very competitive here because they want to get more people into the ecosystem. And dude, they've got money to burn. Okay, they've got money to burn. So with the headset, I think we are going to get something that's closer to what Meta is doing. So the Meta Quest 3, just like the regular 512 gig, is $500. So I do think we'll probably get there. And we might go, I don't know if it'll go any cheaper than that, just because they're not doing like a smaller SKU, because the MetaQuest 3S is like $299.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with you. It's going to be $500. And then I think going up to 2 terabytes, we'll probably see 700 to 800 for that and everything. But again, I don't think that they're going to gouge. I don't think that they're going to try to get where it's like we're trying to make money. I think they're trying to get the Xbox crowd that has been kind of disillusioned, have been kind of just hung out to dry. I think this is the time to do it.
That, man, strike while the iron is hot. Like, it's opportunity.
Yeah.
When opportunity knocks, you answer.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Valve. When they came out with a Steam Deck, I was like, okay, this is a weird decision for Valve to do this, because the original Steam machine and all of that just didn't do well. But they've just been so good with the Steam Deck, and now it's like, okay, we figured out how to actually do this. Now let's go and let's crush this. So I'm excited for them. I think this is a good way for people to, if you want you don't want the PC side of it to like bog you down, but you still want the power of a PC. This is the perfect way to do it.
Correct.
Perfect way.
Now I have to answer the all important, or ask the all important question, Zach, and this is more tongue in cheek than anything, because of this surgence of, Steam tech. So I mean, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I don't know, dude. Maybe when Gabe Newell like transcends and becomes a robot, we might get Half-Life 3.
Gabe Newell bringing out Half-Life 3 is like George R.R. Martin finishing Winds of Winter at this point.
Yeah. Dude, I think it was Linus Tech Tip. He was like, this is the Gabe box. He like just put like a picture of Gabe Newell on the it's like we've essentially went back to the GameCube at this point. It's like we've come full circle.
Yep. Hey, it's fine with me. GameCube was an interesting piece of tech. This will be too. It's just way more powerful.
Way more powerful and a lot more games to play. Guys, we got one last story, and this one I did not expect as well. We had some kind of
I saw this morning on scrolling on IG after I did my news segment. I just opened up IG and I was just like, huh? This got buried under everything.
Yeah. So Sony and NCSoft announced Horizon Steel Frontiers, a new mobile-first MMORPG set in the Horizon universe, and this is by Wesley Yinpool at IGN. We do have a short trailer. Do you want to watch that first, Derek?
Yes.
All right, let's jump into it, everybody. Well, there we go.
I was like,
That's cool, like latching onto them and everything.
Yeah, very Monster Hunter-esque.
Is that Joe Brisket? Oh gosh.
Oh boy. Those flipping bear machines from the Frozen Wild are so tough.
Like, to be able to literally battle this thing with a sword is kind of insane.
Right. Oh.
Okay.
I'm just thinking that thing from Lord of the Rings. Bring it down, bring it down.
Still counts as one.
Right. No, that's not ominous. That seems like a that shadow. That seems like a dark zone from Division.
Well, it kind of feels like it right here.
No, thank you. Nah, fam. I forgot about that.
Again, being able to literally stop this thing with
A sword
is kind of crazy.
Right.
So let's see what Wesley Yinpool over at IGN had to say about this, Derek.
So NCSoft and Sony have announced Horizon Steel Frontiers, a new MMORPG set in Guerrilla's Horizon universe designed specifically for mobile. South Korean video game company NCSoft, best known for MMOs such as Guild Wars and Lineage, has finally confirmed its long-rumored partnership with Sony and Guerrilla to build a Horizon MMO, and revealed the game via a 10-minute development diary and gameplay video below. Excuse me. Steel Frontiers is a massive multiplayer take on Horizon, complete with character customization, social features, and raid-style boss fights, which I'm sure that was like the Spinosaurus was one that we saw at the end there. It looks like it has taken inspiration from Capcom's Monster Hunter in terms of PvE gameplay, although with Horizon's trademark robot dinosaur enemies. You play a machine hunter in the Deadlands and work with and against other players to defeat enemies and compete for resources. It's not clear yet where Horizon Steel Frontiers takes place in the overarching Horizon timeline, if at all, nor is there clarity on whether we'll see any familiar faces in the game, such as series protagonist Aloy. There's no release date either, but we do know Horizon Steel Frontiers is primarily built for mobile devices. Guerrilla Games studio head Jean-Bart Van Beek says as much in the video. It will also be playable on PC via Purple, NCSoft's proprietary game platform. There's no mention of a PlayStation release or a wider console launch. So, obviously, and I know they have a gameplay trailer, which looks definitely different. Like it was interesting to see because I know there's been rumors about a Horizon MMO gameplay, game, multiplayer game, and like there was rumor, then I remember talking about this maybe like a year or so ago, like how PlayStation's wanting to get in more of the mobile market. So combining both of these it was a really interesting take, and I feel like I just kind of like winced just a little bit. Like I know we're watching the gameplay here, and for it being a mobile game, like it looks pretty good so far from what we're seeing. You're muted again, by the way. But
it looks really good.
It does. So for a mobile game, and I know like mobile gaming has taken a step forward, like especially in South Korea, like they are huge on the mobile gaming verse over there. So I kind of winced at this, but then like seeing the trailer, seeing the gameplay here makes me more rest assured. And I mean, for the fact that it's for PC, I feel like they had to make it for PC first, and then I want to see what it's like running on mobile, just to see kind of like the difference. But we see now, like especially with the handheld, like I know Xbox, you could hook an Xbox controller to your phone and do like Game Pass on it. So I mean, I feel like it's come a long way since like Candy Crush and all that kind of jazz. But I don't know, Zach, what are your takeaways from this? Like, I know these are like two different things we've talked about, like rumors and stuff that's finally coming to a head. We just didn't think it would be combined in one.
Yeah, this is very different than what I was expecting. I was expecting something more along the lines of like Destiny, to be honest.
Nintendo's going to sue them for the adrenaline meter, or the meter
stamina.
right there. Yeah, the stamina meter right there.
So like having this is going to be it's a very good plan for the franchise, because if you can get the mobile side of things going, you can get more people invested into the whole like story. They'll go buy a PlayStation 5 and buy Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West and play that, just like they put out the ones that was like the VR one that it's a way to get people into this. And like it does look Call them out. And like this does look really good. It is very MMORPG, which that's what it is. It has very Monster Hunter vibes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But it is taking that where you are hitting parts off just like the main game would be and everything. And like if you look at this whole like gameplay side of things, even like when they're like cooking, it's somewhere in here, like it is like shot for shot of what a Monster Hunter game would be,
right?
With like all of that in there. But I'm excited for this. I think this is something where it will get more people into it, because I do like Horizon Zero Dawn is a great game and a great story. Forbidden West, the ending sucked so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
But
that
it was
was,
still an overall, up until that point, it was still an overall great game.
yeah, fantastic. Like gameplay, look, all of that, improvements and all of that. The story just didn't deliver at the end. But my big thing, Derek, and I'm curious your thoughts, it not coming to the PlayStation.
Yet, that we know of. Like, yeah, but you feel like you would feel like they would announce this in the same breath as like PC and
Yeah.
mobile. So yeah, like that's one of the underlying stories here. Not coming to PlayStation. So you wonder what's this means. Like now, this being like, but now here's the other good news. Here's the reverse, like the other side of the coin to it, right? Gorilla's not solely doing this, right? Like I know excuse me, Jim Ryan pushed this whole live service initiative, and there was rumors, and we were wondering, okay, this is going to be Gorilla's next project. It's going to further kick down the road, like Horizon 3 or whatever new project they were going to work on. But because this feels like NC Soft is taking the brunt of the development, and just Gorilla is just like overseeing it to make sure they give this the same attention to detail, because this IP pretty much saved Gorilla's like franchise career
Oh
instead
yeah.
of just being like an afterthought. They want to make sure it's done right. So them being in like an overseer role, like how Neil Druckmann did with the Last of Us TV show, as opposed to being in the forefront of it, I feel like is the correct move, and like letting NC Soft do the brunt work, because they're in the mobile sphere and they want to do this. But I feel like this may have been the compromise to that, is like, okay, if we're taking over development, we're going to decide what it comes on. And I think the sacrifices is not coming to PlayStation immediately. I do think we get this on PlayStation, but I think they want to see how it does, because PlayStation's been, like I said, was wanting to get into the mobile market. I feel like they want to push that initiative forward first, just to see how it does. Because they also, I don't know if it was in the same like thing, but they also announced later in the day that there's a new Ratchet and Clank game, but it's also coming to mobile, and that's not coming to PlayStation. So I feel like, because PlayStation wants to get into that ecosphere, I feel like they had to make a sacrifice and let this come there first, because if they said this was going to be on mobile and then come to PlayStation, I feel like the majority of the audience won't be compelled to go to mobile and maybe give that a try. Like there might still be I'm not saying there's not a mobile audience, like that's gaining more and more. Like I know we talked about years ago how Japan, like there's more mobile game users than anything else. So they will have a market. I just feel like maybe Sony had to bite the bullet and just say, we're going to take a flying shot here and see if it sticks.
Yeah. I think also it's like when you look at this, it's like if we do mobile first, that's a way larger install base. We can make way more money off of this.
Because everyone pretty
Hopefully
much has a phone.
everyone has a phone, and I'm hoping that this isn't microtransaction city gotcha games like which it could
Genshin
be like
Impact.
Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and all of that. Like I definitely could see that being more of the thing here than full on Monster Hunter, which Monster Hunter even tried to do their own version of this, like a mobile game.
Yeah.
So I think this is them doing what Nintendo did, like the Fire Emblem franchise did really well on mobile and everything, and I feel like Sony has been trying to get that for a while, and this is their big chance to do that. And if it looks anywhere near as good, because like you can play Assassin's Creed on a phone, you can play Resident Evil Village on a phone, you can play a lot of like stuff on the iPhone 15 and up. Yeah, exactly. You can play all these games like on higher end phones that are just pretty much commonplace at this point. So it's like this is a way to get people into playing the franchise games, get them in there so they'll spend money just like GTA, and then they might buy a console down the road. They might get more and more games and all of that. So it's just expanding their reach instead of just focusing on they have to be on our console, and I feel like that's something that Xbox has done really well for a while with like Game Pass and everything, but Sony's doing what Sony does, and they're doing it a different way.
For sure.
Dan has a comment. He's like, I don't feel like Horizon would fit into an MMORPG format very well.
Yes and no. Like when we first got read on this, like I was kind of the same mindset. I'm like, I don't know about this, but like thinking about it, it's like you have all these different enemy varieties. You have like the bosses, like the smaller scale, like the huge scale, like we are seeing now in the video. And you have like these diverse tribes and like different weapons and like if especially the character customization, it's like if you could be an awesome or if you could be like this tribe or like the even some of the enemy factions is like I feel like that is so diverse enough to warrant an MMORPG and have that format. So I still think I mean at its core it still serves best as a single player story driven based game, but I feel like the bones are there for like and like the customization options like being in an RPG first I feel like was enough to drive it to this format. Now, will it be successful? That's a whole other will it stick the landing? That's a whole other ball of wax. We'll have to wait and see. But I do think that the bones were there to make this a possibility.
What was the Monster Hunter before Worlds?
Wilds. No, this is Monster Hunter Wilds. The one before that was Monster Hunter World.
I feel like this is going to be more like Worlds,
Yeah.
because like it just feels like they literally just went and copied and pasted Monster Hunter. But the appeal to Monster Hunter Worlds was you got to do this with friends. You got to go on,
Correct.
take down these big monsters and all of that, and just
imagine fighting a Thunderjaw with not by yourself. You know what I mean?
dude, oh my gosh. Well, and it's like you're not Aloy, so it's yeah. I don't know how the powers are going to necessarily work.
Right.
Are there different classes? Because clearly
Yeah.
we see
tank, healer, support.
yeah, and like we have cooldowns and all of that, so there are different abilities. It's like, okay, hopefully we'll get some other things because I'm seeing a lot of sword play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that seems to be a continual thing we see in the gameplay and everything. So it's like hopefully we'll get something that's more than swords.
Yeah.
I did see somebody with like daggers and everything. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that dodge right there looked freaking cool.
Like take like I think it's the Oseram tribe that have like the Gatling guns or the cannons. Like, give me that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be like the kind of the tank where he's just like laying down fire, pulling
Yeah.
aggro and everything. That would be really cool. They did show like this is a 10-minute long. The first one is like a 10-minute long video. We've pulled out just a part of it, but you are getting to like customize your character. You're getting to create your own character and everything. So it's not just like regular built characters or anything. So you are getting to build your own. I'm glad that they're sticking with the style. Like you can see, like up in the HUD, like it does look like the style of markers and all of that, and like it still feels like what we've gotten, but it feels less stealth based because I feel like with Aloy, there's a lot more stealth, but we're also fighting humans more. It feels like here we're fighting mostly the the Transformers, the Mecha Beast, whatever you want to call them. So I'm excited about this. I want to see more. I hope we do get this on console at some point in time. My question, Derek, are you playing this? Because I feel like you're a much bigger Horizon fan than I am.
I am.
I enjoy Horizon, but you're definitely more on the Kool-Aid than I ever been.
I mean, right. So I definitely enjoy. I mean, I was a huge fan of when Zero Dawn got unveiled. Like I fell in love. It was love at first sight. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It depends on how easy point of entry it will be, and I mean, I have to see more of it and like the more of the like the systems and whatnot. So I'm cautiously optimistic on this one, but again, with my work schedule and how life is right now, like, will I be dedicated to an MMO RPG? Like, I don't know if I will be. That's the thing. Like, it's not, and it's nothing against Horizon. It's just the style of game they went with. It's like not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. But I don't know. I want to see more, and I want to see if it does eventually come to PlayStation, I'll just go that route. But I don't know. It depends on if my phone will be able to run it or not. Will I give this a shot? We'll see. So only time will tell, Zach.
Only time will tell. Well, I'm definitely going to be checking out when it comes out because I'm always down for an adventure, and hopefully Derek will join me and we'll get to play together because we rarely get to play video games together
I know.
ever.
So.
You know what I mean? So, and I'll be playing with the community, but that is later. Now is now. It is time for the Patreon quick hits. The Patreon quick hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Go support us over at patreon.com/nerdcave and get your very own membership to help us continue to make an awesome show like this and all the other ones that we do. We're a 1.5 person business, so please help us, support us. If you don't have any bucks to toss, that's totally fine. Watching, liking, you can go get the free tier over on Patreon as well. All of that helps us. Sharing it with people that you know like video games and video game news. Like we're nerdy. We're nerdy. Like there's liking video games, and then there's like talking about the industry and like all of that. Like we're just freaks. Okay, let's just be honest. We're just a bunch of freaks. But Derek, it's time for the Patreon quick hits.
So starting off, World of Warcraft is coming to consoles, its senior game director has said. Square Enix aims for majority of its QA debugging to be handled by generative AI in the next 2 years. Boo hiss. Square Enix hit by mass layoffs as publisher reorganizes operations in North America and Europe, probably getting ready to bring on some AI if that's the case. Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimensions DLC launches December 10th with Pokemon over level 100 and more. Shigeru Miyamoto says Pokemon began selling 2 versions of each game to try and beat Mario. After Xbox and PlayStation price hikes, Nintendo president plays down fears of Switch 2 cost rises, for now anyway. Take-Two boss confident in Mafia franchise after the old country performs well ahead of expectations. Borderlands 4 sales a little bit soft due to PC technical issues, Take-Two boss says, but he's confident it will catch up. CRKD follows up its guitar controllers with a new drum kit controller, and I'm just saying, is there still even a market for this? Like, obviously, yes, if they're making that, but it's like, why? Why are you holding on to this? Just let it die. Protests take place outside Take-Two and Rockstar North offices as fired staff deny leaking company secrets. Marvel Rivals updates extends Marvel Zombies to December 5th and adds balance adjustments for Thor, The Punisher, and more. A plea for help, Blueprints Dev announces one of its lead playtesters only has a few months to find a living kidney donor. Halo Infinite's next major update will be its last, so Halo Studios can focus on multiple Halo titles in development. Sonic Racing Crossworlds finally sets its Switch 2 release date for December 4th, but only on digital, with a physical version coming in early next year. Mass Effect TV series won't retread Shepard's story and will be set after the original trilogy. Marvel's Wolverine is still locked for a fall 2026 release despite GTA 6 delay. Sony reveals PS Portal is, quote, the most widely used device for PS5 remote play. Rumor, Battlefield 6 has 9 new game modes in the works for its post-launch support. Todd Howard confirms the Elder Scrolls 6 is still a long ways off. Zach, I'm happy to tell you, it's an end of an era. Nintendo's long-running Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Black Friday bundle is no more. Arc Raiders breaks its own Steam concurrent peak once again, this time nearing 500,000 simultaneous players. PS5 shipments reach 84.2 million worldwide and is looking to hit 90 million by the end of the year. Ghost of Yotei sales hit 3.3 million worldwide in 1 month. Let's go. There you go. Sony reveals it has 119 million monthly active PSN users as of September 30th. Marathon update from Sony reveals it is fully dedicated to launching the title as scheduled. Fallout 3 Remastered has been reported yet again as being in development. Sony announces Japan-only region-locked PS5, and it'll actually be on the cheaper side, from what I read. Sony announces a 27-inch PlayStation monitor with VRR support and DualSense charging hook. Elden Ring Night Rain, The Forsaken Hollows DLC has been announced. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake release date has been set for March 12th. Mixtape, the 90s coming of age adventure by the creators of The Artful Escape, has been delayed to next year. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls adds the X-Mansion stage, Spider-Man and Ghost Rider as playable characters, and another closed beta set for December 5th through 7th. Marvel Rivals Season 5 adds Rogue and Gambit as playable characters. Fortnite fans say the game is opening the door to loot boxes by allowing creator-made modes to sell paid random items, though their sale is restricted in certain countries and sellers are required to disclose odds. Pokemon Pokopia Switch 2 release date has been set for March 5th. Kojima Productions is set to release an actual wearable Death Stranding 2 exoskeleton in latest collab. There you go, Zach. Go do your courier life in real life. Sega is really increasing the average monthly salary for all employees by 10% starting in April of next year. Sonic Racing Crossworld's upcoming DLC includes SpongeBob SquarePants, Knights, and Super Monkey Ball. Super Mario Galaxy Movie adds Brie Larson as Rosalina and Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. And lastly, like I said, a new Ratchet & Clank has been announced for mobile.
One,
yeah,
good on Sega for increasing pay for its employees. That's huge.
That's a crazy concept too. You know what I mean? Like
in this day and age,
actually pay your employees more for what they earn. That's wild.
Yeah, and not fire them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy concept, but the Kojima like putting out exoskeletons. So I saw a video. This has been a few months ago. Like this has apparently been a thing over in China that they have like these exoskeletons that you use for like these big hiking, these steep cliffs or whatever. And dude, like this dude was trying it out, and he's like, I barely like move forward, and it starts like moving for me. He's like, I can run like 3 or 4 times faster and all of this. He was just showing it. I was like, dang. I was like, gonna have to give me one of them. But yeah, you know, I'd be down for that. I'd get one. What about you,
End
Derek?
of an era, Zach. That final Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Black Friday bundle is going to be out the window. I know you're happy.
I was surprised, but you know,
it'll just be replaced with Mario Kart World.
Yeah, and it'll be just the same price as like the Switch. There's nothing added or taken away. So, well, there you have it, everybody. That is the Nerd Cave news. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that awesome stuff. Come hang out with us on Tuesday. We'll be playing more video games. We'll be taking down the Oni. But thank y'all for being here. We love y'all. This has been Zach
and Derek.
Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.